Alright guys, so we got our newly rebuilt injector pump back. They even did a nice little paint job on it. It looks pretty good. I've been waiting for it since before Christmas actually. We're gonna put this on a Massey 1105 here. So, put new filters on. This Massey's been sitting for, I don't know, 10 years or something like that. And these Perkins engines are pretty good engines. They're pretty good starting engines. But anyway, we parked it due to the injector pump had failed. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's the reason why we parked it. Anyways, so we actually had an old 1105 for parts that we've had that, yeah, we have an old parts tractor. And so we put a new starter on it because it needed that. Got that one down there. Took this filter housing off the other tractor and put them on, put new filters on. I'm going to scrape all this gasket cleaner off of here. That was just there to test the second injector pump off the spare tractor. It also, I guess the plunger is stuck in there because they sit too long. I guess that's a fairly common thing from what I am told. At first we thought it was the lift pump. I'll show you the lift pump here. So we put a new lift pump on and put some fuel conditioner in. It's diesel, obviously. Put some fuel conditioner in. Now I'll be honest, you guys. I am not a mechanic. Like, I am not somebody who pulls wrenches every day. That's not me. I can barely do it at the best of times. So we're gonna put this injector pump on. We're gonna bleed the injector lines. It really does need a battery, but I think if I was to put a booster on it, that hopefully will get us going. I don't want to put any more money into it until I know I already put enough money into it just with that rebuild of the injector pump, which is like $1,400 or something. I can't remember. All right, I'm gonna crack it. Oh, and then I took off. We got two doors here. One of the doors is, oh yeah, the handle's broke there, and it's also bent. I can't remember. It got hooked in the wind. So I took the second door off the other tractor. I'm going to put that on. It sure is nice having a parts tractor. Apparently I got to put a seat in it. It's not much left of the seat and flooring or any of the... But the mice get in it so bad, eh? So I would rather have it stripped right to the steel. That's just less for the mice to get in. As you can see, they get into the vents and stuff like that. I think there's still a few in there. But I'm going to get cracking on this here. Alright guys, so we got it all cleaned up, got it all shiny, ready to stick that injector pump on here. So these are your timing gears. I do believe that there's only one way that this can go on. Well, I guess we're about to find out. Alright guys, now we got it all cleaned up. Looks like we're ready to put our gasket on. Not sure if there's a one way that's upside down, but this is what I feel comfortable with. I know there's so many of you guys like, Mike, you have no idea what you're doing, and that's accurate. Oh boy. I knew this was going to happen to me. We got extra parts here, you guys. I'm not exactly sure. I was thinking, oh, well, these must go on these injector lines. But that doesn't seem right, and then they're not all the same. This one doesn't even go on. You know what? Who needs that stuff anyway? What's the worst that could happen? What? We're going to worry about that later. So here's our timing gears. I do believe that there's only one way that this can go on. Pretty sure. Yeah, so it's pretty sure there's only one way that this will go, from what they were telling me. So you don't want to screw that up. Well, let's give it a go here. Alright, so that took me a lot longer than it should have to get those splines just lined up perfectly down there, but we got it. And we got to take these little white caps off and throw on our injector lines. And we'll bolt down the pump as well. So we're going to hook some stuff up here. I should say I'm going to try and hook some stuff up here. This is Mike here you're talking about, so we're going to give her a whirl. You know, sometimes these little nuts, they just thread right on. And other times they don't, so I try and flip them around, see if that makes a difference. Seems to me when I was doing this last time, it doesn't. It doesn't. This one's going to go hard the whole way. It's not bad, but there's actually one right behind here. That's bad. That is not fun to get to. I prefer the 3/8. You know, a ratchet wrench actually doesn't work because it's just a little bit too close and the ratchet wrench is a little thick. Here, I'll show you. Here's a 1/2 inch. See? Doesn't quite go on the nut. You can get them to be in here. That's what you would have to have, probably. The metric ones actually had a little thinner head on them, but I guess they don't. So we're going to use our 3/8 ratchet. Or sorry, our 1/4 inch. Did I say 3/8 before? Our 1/4 inch ratchet. No, we won't. Here we will. And then, no, we won't. Yes, we will. We got it, guys. We got it. I think my ratchet is slipping every now and then. Oh, I just got these two bolted down, which wasn't very hard. Don't get me wrong. It only took me about a minute to do it, but I forgot to put this bracket on. It's got to go on those two gray bolts, the ones I just put on. Don't! Come on, Mike! Oh man, Mike does everything the hard way. Upgraded our 1/4 inch ratchet here, so we're going at ramming speed. In reverse, we put our bracket back on. Perfect. Just mocking this up to make sure we don't forget anything else, you know, because Mike probably shouldn't quit his day job. Because once we bolt this down, it's going to make it awfully hard to put on our kill switch. So I think this is the kill switch. The throttle cable, sorry. So we're going to put that on right now. Okay, so this is quite the little setup we got here. You see this thing? This little thing, it actually snaps on. Then it will come right off. And then it's got to go in. There's a little hole over here. In there. Here, I'll try to do this here. Right here. So, you have to put this thing half on. Half on. Shoot! Don't do that. Don't lose it. Right here. And it goes half on here and then half on here and then it snaps on. So, kind of hard to explain that, I guess. So, I'm just going to put it on. There we go. I don't think you can see that. It's too blurry, isn't it? Yeah, it's too blurry. But anyway, the moral of the story is, it's on. So, now I might put this bottom line on here. Let me see. Process of eliminate. No, I'm just going to put this bracket on now. I'm the kind of guy who likes to pull the injector pump off about 6 different times. Then fully mount it about 7 more times. And then realize that I forgot one bolt. So take it off about 3 more times. Put it back on and realize you forgot one injector line. Take it off another 4 more times. And what a 3-hour job should turn into probably about a 13-hour job. Mike might be able to do it in about 23 hours. That's so true. So we got this bracket on. This bolt wasn't nearly as fun to get to with this bracket on. Now we're gonna. This is our shut off. This is our kill switch from inside the cab. You pull it and it shuts it off. So we're gonna put this in right now. It should go something like that, just like that. You see that? Okay. Now we got to find my pin because I probably lost it. It's kind of how I roll. I got my little magnetic tray. It's kind of dirty. Don't judge me. Aha. You know what? We might be able to find a new one. There we go. Got them chopped up. Should work. Let's give it a whirl. Just like that, you guys. It's ready to rock and roll. Okay. Now on to the next thing. We're going to work on some injector lines here. So we're just putting on the injector lines. I like to get them on loose. To get them all on first, and then I'll tighten them up after. But you can see this one isn't quite lining up because you got to pull this line over. I remember this being a little bit of a problem on this one. The last 15 times I had to take this thing on and off when I was trying the other pumps out. I don't know, prior to actually redoing this one. So all we're going to do is we're just going to loosen this guy off a little bit here. So by doing this, we're going to pop this guy out just a little bit. Put him on an angle. There we go. So see how now he lines up? Because the last thing you want to do is cross thread any of these things trying to get them to go on. So that's perfect. Hey? Now we can tighten him back up. Just like that. Snug him. Now that I got all these on, I'm going to just tighten them up. You don't want to over tighten these. So yeah, as I was saying, you don't want to over tighten these things because they can strip really easy. You just want to snug them. Hand tight, and then just snug them. So now once we've got all these lines tightened up, we got to take one of these lines. Most of the time I always get it backwards. I got to try that. Like I said, about 15 different times, but it goes right down into here, and it goes into the bottom of that pump, like that, and it goes right up into here, into your fuel filter area. It's gonna take 2 fingers here. Either that or I got it upside down, which I might. All right, so once you get that in, take a 1/2 inch and you just gently you got to make sure you get these things started by hand really good before you put a wrench on them. Don't want to cross thread anything. And again, the same thing. You just kind of want to get them snug. There you go. And the same for this one down here. Now this guy's our last line to put on here, okay? So he goes right in the back in behind here to this guy. Now that I've done this, now I remembered I don't like this guy being on because it just hinders things. So I might actually remove this guy so that way I can thread him in there a little bit easier. So he has to kind of go back here. Like so. See if I can get this done with one hand. There it is. Whoa. Struggling here. Okay, I'm just going to put this one here. Okay, I'm struggling here. Problem was it only goes one way. I was trying to go under this steel line right here, and it actually has to go on top. So that's the reason why I was struggling so much there. All right, so everything is all tightened up. Now we're loosening off we want to bleed this injector pump. So there's one bleed here, I believe, and one bleed here, I believe. So we just want to loosen these puppies off. There we go. So we're going to bleed it here and get the air out of the system, and we're going to go from there. So Lee is here. You want to give her a little pump there, Lee? Whoa, hold on here, hold on. Always helps if you finish tightening them all. Hey, I told you guys I don't do this for a living. It's a good thing I don't, right, Lee?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't quit your day job, Mike. Okay, now we should be ready. Give her a pump. I'm hoping to bleed some air out of here. I can hear it. Get my bucket under there. Catch any fuel.
It's nice and hard.
Good. Yeah, it's definitely air coming out. I can hear it. Still bubbling. Keep it going, good sir. Oh, we got fuel coming out of this one. Keep going.
Yeah.
And this one.
Now she's gone soft.
Yeah, I think we just about got it. Just keep going if you can.
Yeah, she's completely soft.
Leaking some fuel. That's a good sign. That's what we want. Going right into the bucket. I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna tighten this one down. Go.
It reminds me of my youth with the Xbox. You know, all those finger strings. Call of Duty have gone, you know, pay off now.
Okay, you can stop there, Lee. I got them tightened up. Just finger tight. While we're also bleeding the fuel lines, I thought I'd better get this charger on the battery. It needs some new batteries, but we can get everything running. We'll put some new ones in, but we'll let that charge up a little bit while we're working over here. So we've bled the injector pump. As soon as Lee gets back, he has to run down and check the cleaner. We're going to just bleed these fuel filters again. Then we're going to bleed this again. We're going to bleed everything twice. And then we're going to try it. If it doesn't work, then we might have to bleed each injector. But we're going to give it a whirly bird first. Okay, you can bleed it.
Pump it, you mean?
Yeah, pump it. Oh yeah, we got fuel. Oh yeah, that's good. Tighten her down. Alright, I'm just going to do the injector pump one more time here. There we go.
Yep.
draining fuel out. Keep going. That looks good. This one looks good. I'm gonna tighten it up here. Okay, we're gonna give it a whirly bird here. That's good. Now the fuel's been sitting. It's about, I think it was about 2/3 full, and then I topped it off with fresh stuff, and we're gonna throw some additive in there for improved gas mileage. No, it's to help with that old stuff. Put about half of that stuff in there. Should be good to go. Good enough. Good enough. Throw that cap on there, and we're gonna give it a go here. So one would think that you would just use the key down here and give her a whirly bird, but it doesn't work. You know why it doesn't work? Because there's a little fuse box in here. You're supposed to put your fuse in. Maybe both of them. This one for sure, anyway. And yeah, it's broke. So we don't use that anymore. We use the old-fashioned way. Mike, what the heck is the old-fashioned way? That's a screwdriver or a wrench. And if you don't know how to do that, I'm about to show you. The stairs is kind of gone here when I... There we go. All right. Okay. Let's just give it a whirly bird. So we're going to do a shorted out. So we're going to take this one right here and touch it with this one. And it's going to engage my starter. And that is how we're going to start it. Or that's my plan here anyway. There we go. Oh, we do not have enough juice here. Okay. Alright, we bled it again just to make sure. We're going to do another round here. We might have to loosen these off and bleed them up here. It's kind of hoping we wouldn't have to do that. We've run these old engines out of fuel before. It's not uncommon because maybe the old gauge doesn't work anymore or whatnot. And normally you just bleed the injector pump and bleed it here and you're off to the races. But like I said, I'm no mechanic, so I like to try to do everything the hard way at least 4 more times. So I definitely heard some air in here when I was loosening off these lines. You guys can't really see that too good. Hear that? Go psh. So we're gonna continue this. I've got no idea what I'm doing, but we did loosen off all these injectors and a little psh, psh, psh of air come out. So I'm hoping it was just a little bit airlocked. And because nothing's gonna get through that injector pump to bleed them unless this injector pump is turning. So yeah. We tried it for, I think it was our 3rd or 4th time. We had to keep loosening this out, the injector lines up here, and let the air out. Tighten them back up. Kept trying to turn it over, turning and turning and turning and turning and turning and turning and turning, and finally she went. Hasn't been running in 10 years. Purrs like a kitten now. Okay, we're smoking the shop out. Still works. That's a good sign. Oh, that makes me happy. Although, Lee, I don't think I should quit my day job, buddy.
No.
I don't think I should quit my day job. It's just a simple injector. It hasn't taken me quite 23 hours yet, but we must be close. Go and get 2 new batteries for this puppy. And put my flashing back on. Put my door on. Clean out the cab. Do some TLC. Maybe some elbow grease. So on and so forth. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot. You know what? Let's try start it one more time. Let's just try to start it one more time.
I think we need Ethan, will we?
No, I don't think we will. Give us a whirly bird. Let's give her a try here. There we go. Let it off. There you go. Oh yeah. The proof is in the smoke or the pudding. Ugh. All right. Oh yeah, my gauge doesn't even work, guys. It's plumb chucking full. It doesn't even work. Oh well, this works. We got oil. We're gonna go get some batteries. Shut off. Works. A little sticky, but man, that makes me excited. I'm gonna have to call my tire guy from Sean & Tire, I'm pretty sure, because let me show you why. These old tires got chloride in them. Actually, they're not that old. Like, we put these things on and we basically parked it for 10 years. But I don't think I'd put the chloride back in, but it's leaking out the valve cap, and this valve cap is completely rusted out. Like, you couldn't put air in this tire if you tried. And it's really corrosive on the concrete, hence why we got this here. So I need some tire work. All right, so we've removed both these cables from the positive and the negative. And you can see it's full of mouse poop and so on, so these batteries are pretty old, so we're gonna replace them. So in case you're wondering, we do recycle all of our used batteries. Actually, we recycle everything: steel, plastic, batteries, so on and so forth. So we're gonna put this with some other used batteries. We like to, I don't know, if you're gonna go and recycle them, best make a trip out of it. So we'll wait till they add up a little bit. And then these are the new ones. Let's get these puppies in. I got some new cables too, just in case we gotta replace some cables. No big deal. I found this with my injector pump. Bubble wrap. Guys, seriously. Seriously. I'm a big kid, I can't stop. I'm serious, like, anytime you get this bubble wrap stuff, you tell me the truth if you wouldn't be doing this right now. Alright then. I don't quite have a long enough cable. Some of these are pretty long. So I just have a bunch of raw cable here. I'm just going to cut it to length. And then we're just going to crimp some ends on it. And we should be off to the races here. That's the plan now. I got the short ones, just some of these are a little too long. We got our preferred measurement here. Now we're just going to chop it in half. Watch your face here. Go. One done. Measure up the other one here. Round two. There we go. With this utility knife, we just cut it. Oh, hold on here. There we go. We just cut it a little bit because we want to peel this rubber off. We'll cut it back to here. That way we can crimp this onto a battery cable. Hey guys, so I cut this rubber off here. See? And then you just go like this on it, so that way it goes one direction. And then you want to take this and spin this on the same way that you did it. It's like that. And now we're gonna take a hammer to that puppy and we're gonna pound it down. So we're just gonna use a vise. I'm pushing up on it as hard as I can, and I'm just gonna squeeze it together. Okay. There we go. I got it squeezed together as tight as I can get it. And now I'll take it off. Come on now. There we go, you guys. It's crimped on there. Then you do the old tug test. Basically, you grab it with one hand, you grab this cable with the other hand, you try to yank it apart, because if it yanks apart with your hands, that means you didn't do a good job, but that's not going anywhere. So now what we're going to do is this, I don't know what you want to call that. Hold on. Sorry about that. We're going to slide this puppy on. Why? It's just because there's some corners and stuff under there, and I can move this around once it's on here. I have to put it on, obviously, before I put this other end on. And, oh, sorry, I'm putting this other end on. Because we're going to use adapters. I don't have quite the right fittings. So we're going to use this on both ends. And then we're going to bolt it down. It's a little bit big, but we're going to bolt it down. Both ends crimped. This has proven to be a bit of a challenge. I couldn't slide it over, so I had to actually slice it all the way down the middle. And then you got to scoot it on. Guys are done. we got these slid on. I can move this around anywhere on this cable. This is just for wearing. If it's run around a corner, a hunk of steel, it doesn't wear into your cable and short out. I crimped these in here, and then I stuck them on here, and I used that hammer and beat the crap out of them a little bit more, get them as tight as I can. Typically, you would just put a bolt end, this is a bolt end, on one end, and then you would have a battery end on the other. Well, I don't have the right connector here to take that cable and go into this. I don't have that. But I do have an adapter. So this will go on the post, crimp it down, then take this and put that down there. And then you take a wing nut, no, not me, one of these, and you just tighten it up. So that's what we're gonna do. We got all these cut the length. These are the positive cables coming off each battery. That's why there's two different lengths. I do have those shorter cables over here. I have new ones of these ground cables, like this. So we're going to put new ground cables off. I'll just take this bolt out, maybe shine it up in there a little bit, put a new bolt in, new cable on, and we should be off to the races. Before we do that, actually, I don't really like, I didn't quite cut this right. Sorry, I'm just talking to the YouTube folk.
Oh, hi.
That's Jared. He thinks I'm talking to myself, but I guess that wouldn't be the first time. I'm gonna throw a little electrical tape on this, just to make me feel better. Might not do anything, but I don't know, make me sleep better. There we go. It's impossible to farm without electrical tape and duct tape and tuck tape. You can't farm without those three tapes. I prefer electrical tape, that's my favorite. But now we're off to the races. Guys, here we go. I got these ones all nicely bent back, so that way they're nice and looks good. One one's going this way, this one's going this way. I got this for the high wear points. Comes out underneath here. This is the clutch. And now I just gotta put my adapter on so I can put my positives on. This is the ground cable. I already had one of these. New bolts. We're getting closer. Okay guys, so I'm just showing you what I'm doing here. This is the reason why I have these here. So these are my adapters, right? So then you take this adapter, tighten it up, tighten this up, and then you take this cable here, right? Stick it on here. Bam, tighten it up and you're good to go. Now I don't know which direction I need all these yet, so I'm not going to tighten them up on here. This is really soft metal, super soft. So once you put it on and you start tightening down on this nut and bolt, it will squeeze these things right together. You don't want to squeeze them right together. You just want to snug them good enough so that the way they don't move, because ground is obviously super duper important. Okay guys, enough talking, let's get to getting. Well, I guess this one here is just squished together a little bit. Must have been somebody else. Doesn't quite want to go on. Now again, you gotta be really careful with this. So you want to take your manliest hammer that you have, and you just want to lightly tap. Typically you have the other hand right here, kind of holding it. There, we're spreading it out just a little bit. Or you could take a little pipe or a little pry bar or screwdriver or something, kind of wedge it in there and open it up a little bit. I prefer the tap-in method. And you want to go back and forth. There, it's going down. Just like that. I want to keep this in case it was ever to come out of alignment. So it's important to keep this in here. Okay. And you can actually pound, like this is super soft metal, so you can dent it, right? I think I just about dented it already, and that's just tapping on it. So once I get this one down, we'll leave this one on the battery. Oop. Kind of want to work your way all the way around it. You kind of want to go all the way around so it goes down evenly. So that's perfect. See here, it's trying to spread. Just barely a big enough one, I think. That's the reason why. So now we're going to take our wrench and we're just going to snug this back in just a little bit, and then we're going to be off to the races. Okay, guys? So this is actually too small, but we're going to make it work anyway because I don't have the parts and I would like to get the tractor out of the shop. So I actually stuck a little bit longer bolt in so I don't have to suck that up so much, because you can risk of breaking it. It's super easy to snap off or whatnot. So I can still move it around. Not very well, but I can. And I will finalize this when I figure out exactly where I want it. So let's put the battery in. Guys, I actually rotated it 90 degrees. And this is how I want it. It was pointing out here. It got a little too close to the steel. You got to remember, you guys, this is the positive. If I was to touch this wrench with any hunk of steel, it would, I don't really want to do it, but it would short out. So you always want to use, you know, in case you're going like this, right? You don't want to be tightening it up and hit a hunk of steel. So I always put my hand back here so that way, you know, it's not going to go through your hand, so that we don't have to worry about shorting anything out. So let's finish this up. We're just about done. Just tightening up the last nut. We haven't even shorted anything out here yet. You do the good old wiggle test. Make sure everything's tight, and then you just do the whole like, what's going to happen when I close it test. Making sure your cables aren't going to be rubbing on stuff. Oh, I think that cable might. Don't really like that. The reason why I didn't like what I was seeing under here is, you see, this ground cable's okay. This here is protected. You guys can't see that, I guess. There we go. No, you guys still can't see that. Anyway, I don't want it to be hanging up on any steel. You guys still can't see that. Okay, well, this is it. Day's over. Well, day's not over for me, but day's over for you guys. I'm gonna keep working on this thing for a little while here, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Adios, amigos. Yeah, you're right. I'm back. So I want to oil change it, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to fill this thing with oil when you got this old Leon loader mount. We used to have an old loader for an old Leon one. I think it was a Leon one. Maybe, shoot, maybe it was a quickie. I don't remember what it was, but anyway. I'm going to yank that thing off because we don't have the loader anymore, and I'm kind of sick of looking at it and kind of sick of working around it. So I'm just going to literally unbolt it from the tractor with Susie. Grab Susie and some wrenches. Zip, 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 zip. And then it will look a whole lot better.
Just like butter.
Just like that. Never leave home without Susie. So we got all the bolts out to get this top piece. You want to just lift up on that to see what it looks like? Oh yeah, okay, I'll grab the other piece and we'll just pull it right out of it. We'll just slide it right out like this and then set it on the ground. Go, it's off. Now we're gonna unbolt these brackets. Clean it up. All right. So we've taken all the bolts out of here except for one. He's gonna have to hold. Well, shouldn't be, hopefully not too heavy. Hopefully not.
We'll find out.
Okay, so it's off. So you want to go to that other side there? Push down on that. Sticking like that thing. And I guess these bolts, I'll have to take those up because that looks pretty bad, doesn't it? We might have to pull this. My manly hammer is right over there.
Wow.
Second manliest hammer you've probably ever seen.
Yeah. I'm not sure I have the strength to wield it. Cool me forward.
Clean all this out. And then these bad boys. Oh, no, it's actually, it's 1 1/8 inches.
Oh.
So close. Perfect. Grab Susie. Wow. Okay, I was like, man, we are on 3, right? Yeah. Man, I'm surprised Susie's struggling this much, to be quite honest with you. Last one, you want to hold this?
Yep.
I can hold
I'll put down Thor's hammer.
Yeah. never looking so good. I got my air filter. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I got to put an air filter in. We got to do an oil change. This bracket's not going to be so fun. It's pretty heavy. It's got to go back to here. But I'm going to wheel off this other one. I'm boring them. I'm boring them. I should shut it off.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm boring you guys. I know it. I know I am. Okay. Now we're going to do these ones. Same size. I'm going to need an extension. You want to take off that ground out. Okay. So, okay, well, we'll wing her here. Not what I wanted to do. This door, you want to hold this door open?
Yeah.
It's kind of causing problems here. So this is the last one. So I can hold the door.
Yeah.
You think you can kind of hold that? It's going to want to go down this way, but... Did I just... Got it? There we go. Oh, whoa, calm down, Mike. This is kind of holding my battery and everything on here, eh? Like everything.
Oh.
So be very careful.
Right.
We're probably going to need, I don't know, Mike, yeah. Can we go up a little bit? Uh-oh. We're going to have to go up a lot. It's not what I had planned. Should have taken, oh no, we didn't. I need a pry bar.
Need your jack.
Or a jack.
Would your new jack work out your truck?
Yeah, I'm going to try this pry bar, but if it doesn't work, then we go for a punch. I meant to say punch. Anytime, Mike. Okay. So, I'm going to stick a punch in without wrecking any of the threads. Oh, I might be on here. Yeah, I gotta. You go your way a bit? Oh, we're gonna have to get a jack. We gotta get a jack. Hold the phone, we gotta get a jack. What's happening here is by taking out these two bolts and this bolt, it's sunk down a little bit. We could pull the battery out, but we can't find our hole anymore. Okay, so we got a block here, and we're gonna jack up on this battery box. Yeah, you want to pull it over? Okay, yeah. Can you pull it over just a little bit more? Whoa, whoa, back my way. Back my way. Whoa, don't move it right there. Back my way just a wee bit. Whoa. Okay, we got one. Okay, I'm gonna let it down just a bit here. Right there. This is the biggest job of all, just trying to get these bolts to line back up in here. Can it come my way just a bit?
On the top?
Yeah, on the top. No. I got nothing. Let's use this one. Oh yeah, that's doing it. Right there. One more ump like that, good sir. Yeah. One more. It's just starting to go. Okay, that's good. I just want to start it here.
Yeah.
Make sure it's going the right way. Yeah, it's going in. Before you put the impact on it, you want to make sure that it's at least a few threads in, that it's not cross-threaded, because that'd really suck. Cross-threaded. Can you push it this way? No, probably not, eh? Oh yeah, that's the way, yeah. Right there, good sir. Okay, hold that phone. Hold that phone. There it is, it's in. This is kind of cramping my style here. There it is. Now we just gotta throw that ground cable back on. I'll set this thing down. There we go. You want to grab the camera there? Camera. Just show what we're doing here. This is our ground. Actually, I should really take a wire brush to that. Actually, I might just take a grinder. Now, probably should take a grinder. You want to make sure this is the ground. You want to make sure this is super clean. You don't want any paint on it. Now, it is going right through into the tractor, so it's probably going to be okay. If we have any issues, we know where to look. Oh, shoot. You know what? This bolt's too long because it had to go through that other one last time. I need a little shorter. There, that's just what we need. Chugga chugga chugga. Again, if we have any issues, we know where to look. That's it, you guys. So we're gonna go and do the other one. I'm gonna leave you guys alone. You guys have a good one, and we're gonna keep working. Adios.